Today, the 114th Congress, which was, of course, elected back in November of 2014 in the midterm elections, is going to start working. And I use the term work a little bit loosely because if you actually look at the number of days per year that members of Congress work and the fact that a lot of what they do, at least over the last 6 years, has just been to get in the way of what President Obama does, we do have to take, I hesitate to really use the term work in a completely not sarcastic way. But in any case, they are starting to work today. And if you look at the demographics and the makeup of the 114th Congress, it might make you raise an eyebrow because a lot of the numbers don't really make sense. For example, women make up more than 50% of our country, and 20% of the 114th Congress is made up of women. 37% of the U.S. population isn't white. However, only 17% of Congress isn't white. And while 20% of the country's population considers itself non-religious, only 0.2% of Congress people admit to being non-religious. And I use that language, Lewis, because as we know, every indication is that there are way more non-religious members of Congress in the House and Senate that are non-religious. But we know that it really doesn't look good when it comes to voter polls and opinion polls when a candidate says, I am not religious, period. I'm agnostic, I'm an atheist, whatever. I'm culturally Jewish, whatever the case may be. I don't believe in God per se. That's really bad for their approval polls. And so we don't really know what percentage of our elected officials are non-religious.
Not just bad for their approval polls. I mean, it could be a lot harder for them to win that seat in the first place if they're not saying God bless you on the campaign trail. I don't think our president is religious. I think our president is an atheist, but he has to play the game.
So when we look at the numbers, of course, it's important to say, well, hey, listen, if more than 50% of the country is women and only 20% of our elected officials are women, are the priorities and concerns of women being addressed in a way that is representative of the constituents? That's question level one, right? Question level two is when we look at those who even run for these seats, what kind of gender, religion, and racial breakdown do we have? Because as you know, Lewis, you don't just run, right? You have to garner some level of support. Very few candidates for national House and Senate say if they really want to have a chance, if they're serious candidates, I'm going to run. They do exploratory time. They assemble a coalition. They do early fundraising, or at least verbal commitments. So the question would be not only why are they not getting elected, but are they even running? Do we even have a representative population that is running for these positions?
What do you think? I would say no, we don't. But, you know, I haven't lived everywhere in the country. I don't really know what people are thinking. But just based on what we've seen over the past decade, no.
Yeah, I would guess that even if you looked at the breakdown demographically of those who run for these positions, that you would still see a pretty big discrepancy with regard to the kind of makeup of the country. And that actually says, that says as much about the problems with our political system, Lewis, as the fact that the actual elected makeup is also so skewed.
I tend to agree. There are problems all over the place, and we're going to see changes, no doubt, because the population is changing. But as it stands right now, not representative at all.